Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Wednesday, the 3rd of May. Good to have you aboard. We are a Blue Wire podcast presented, as always, by Anidjar and Levine accident attorneys. If you're involved in any kind of accident, if you're dealing with a personal injury, you got to make sure you get what you deserve. Anidjar and Levine accident attorneys, those are my guys. None of ZASLOW Show 2.0 is possible without Mark Anidjar and Glenn Levine and Ellie Anidjar. So I want to make sure that you guys, as much as I appreciate them for being the title sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0, I appreciate you guys for being the great listeners of ZASLOW Show 2.0. So I want to make sure if you're dealing with an injury, you go to the best and you get what you deserve. Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. Got a great show planned today. I'm really glad to have you guys aboard here in the middle of the week. Sorry we're getting off to a little bit of a later start this morning than we normally do. Had some personal stuff to take care of today. You guys understand. You know how that goes. I don't know what you got going on in your personal life. You don't know everything about my personal life. I had some things I had to tend to this morning. But the point is, we got big-time games, big-time action on a nightly basis here in South Florida. Center of the sports universe, you know what I'm talking about. My pal, great foul. Evan Cohen, SiriusXM, Mad Dog Radio, Morning Men, every morning, 6 to 9 a.m. Everybody knows that's my favorite show. He's my guy. Evan Cohen, huge Heat fan, repping the Heat on a national level. He will join ZASLOW Show 2.0 today. He's a recurring guest on the show. We love having him. So, obviously, the majority of the show today is going to be the Heat. We're going to do plenty on the Panthers as well. What a great showing from your favorite little hockey team last night north of the border. The Heat, they come home with a split. The Panthers, they have now won 4 in a row in the postseason. They take a 1-0 series lead in Toronto. What a great night. So that's what we got going on the show today, all right? Very serious sports stuff. Now, we're going to start with the Heat, all right? The Heat is what's most important right now. Look, I'm not trying to discredit the Panthers, but come on, it's the Heat. So we're going to start here with the Heat and last night. Let's get right to it. So word comes out in the afternoon yesterday that Scott Foster is officiating. And so you get the tweets going out. The Miami Heat. It's a picture of Scott Foster. The Miami Heat. 0-5 this year when Scott Foster officiates their games. And the first thing that I do is I respond to that on Twitter and I go, completely meaningless. Because it is completely meaningless. It means nothing who's officiating the game. Well, hold on a second. I don't want to make it sound like every official's good. No, it matters. Like, if I see Tony Brothers is officiating the Heat game, I know, damn, that sucks. We have the worst official in the NBA is officiating the game tonight. But the point that I'm trying to make is it doesn't make a difference for Team A, the Heat, Team B, the Knicks. If you have a bad official, you have a bad official. None of these guys are out for the Miami Heat. None of these guys, conversely, are out for the New York Knicks. So when I write the Heat are 0-4 in games that Scott Foster has officiated, which, by the way, I mean, talk about a small sample size. But when I say it's completely meaningless, I'm responding to this notion that this is a guy who has it out for the Heat. Oh, the Heat, not the Knicks. The Heat are screwed because Scott Foster is officiating. No, the Heat were... And look, the Heat did get screwed by a couple calls, but it wasn't because one of these officials says, oh, the Miami Heat, yeah, hate them. Oh, the Knicks are down 0-1. Yeah, let's make it 1-1. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't and never will believe in any of that kind of bullshit. So, yes, there were bad calls, 2 specifically, which really, really hurt the Heat. But a couple things. Number one, this shit was never going to be easy. See, that's something that I think sometimes we lose track of when it comes to the playoffs. If you're going to make a deep run in the postseason, This shit is hard. And there are going to be road bumps. And you got, like, pick up your pants by your belt. You know, pick up your boots by the straps. Whatever that freaking saying is. But put on your big boy pants, I think is the term that I'm looking for here. This shit's going to be hard. Like, the idea of going up 2-0 on the road at the Knicks, who I don't think are very good. Like, they're fine. I don't think they're very good. But going up 2-0, now, I told you there's a little bit of human nature where, yes, of course the Heat want to go up 2-0, but you already got one. That is the goal. You want to get the split, assure yourself a long series, steal the home court advantage. There is a human nature element to it where, all right, we got what we came for. Maybe the effort subconsciously is not going to be what it was in game one. I think you saw that in game two in Milwaukee. They were minus Giannis and the Heat got mopped. That's not what happened last night. And I think if anything, the fact that Jimmy Butler was not playing, when the star player, and this happens in the regular season too, when the star player is out, that's why it's like, oh my God, how did we lose that team when they were out there without their best player? When the best player is out, all of the other guys, they look at it as an opportunity where, wow, I get to play a lot tonight. They're going to count on me tonight. I don't have to worry if I miss a couple shots. I'm getting my minutes this evening. So those guys are going to go balls to the wall, all out when Jimmy's out. So that was not, it was not a matter of human nature where the Heat were going to fold last night because they already got game one. That is not what took place last night. But the whole idea that the Heat got screwed because of the officiating, Scott Foster in particular, who, by the way, I don't have on my list as one of the worst referees. Now, everybody knows his name for a couple reasons. Number one, his name became infamous years ago because he was kind of involved in the Tim Donaghy thing. Now, when I say involved, I mean his name was mentioned. Nothing was proven. If there was any sliver of evidence against Scott Foster, do you think he would still be officiating NBA games, let alone not having gone to prison like Tim Donaghy? So there's that. And also you got the whole battle with Chris Paul where Chris Paul's Scott Foster has it out for Chris Paul. Now, do I believe that officials can have it out for a player personally? I totally believe that. But there's no evidence of that, of any official having something personal against any players with the Heat. And certainly, I don't believe an official has it out for an entire team. So this idea that the Heat were screwed by the officials last night, yeah, there were two bad calls that really hurt the Heat. But that's not why the Heat lost last night. They lost because this shit was never going to be easy. And look, the Knicks made all the big shots late in the fourth quarter, and the Heat did not. I don't want to simplify everything, but last night was really what you're talking about when it's a make or miss league. Jalen Brunson with the threes in the fourth quarter. Josh Hart with the threes in the fourth quarter. Isaiah Hartenstein with the offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive rebound. And the Heat not being able to hit shots late. And the Heat, in a close and late game, which they played a million of them this season and have been really good at them this season, didn't have their closer. Didn't have either of their closers, Hero or Butler. The Heat won close and late games 4 and 5 against Milwaukee. Butler's the one who did it. They didn't have him last night. Close and late, the Knicks knocked down shots. The Heat did not. To me, that's what it's about, man. Now, the two plays we're talking about, I'm not trying to discredit that the officials that kind of screwed us last night. That did happen. But that's not why the Heat lost. And I guarantee you, I'm going to play a little bit of Spo coming up here. Nobody in the Heat locker room thinks that that's why. Guarantee it. So the first one was, it's about 6 minutes left in the game. The Heat are up by 6. I think Caleb Martin just hit a 3. Looks like we're going to win. But we're up 93-87. And by the way, I turned to my son and go, you know, if we win this game, we're going to sweep them. That is what would have happened. Because we're winning games 3 and 4 in Miami. believe that. Believe that. I turned to my side. If we win this game, we are going to sweep that ass. So the Heat go up by 6 with about 6 minutes left in the game. And then you got the 4-point play, which, again, for the life of me, I don't understand. The foul, and they reviewed it, the foul clearly came before the shot. It also came before his feet even left the ground. Like, that's really the key, right? It's not necessarily the release of the shot. It's got to be him shooting. The foul 100% came before the shot. Now, is that a stupid play by Bam? I don't know what the hell he's doing in that spot. I mean, my son was livid with Bam on that play. He's going to run over Hartenstein. He can't do it. What are you doing? So if you want to blame Bam for that, I know people are blaming Bam. I'm not blaming Bam for the... If I have blame toward Bam today, and he put plenty of blame on himself last night, but if I have blame toward Bam today, it's not because of his offensive performance. And yes, you can be critical of that, for sure. For me, it's, what are you running into Hartenstein there for? Now, if he doesn't run into Hartenstein there, all right, you're saving the Heat 1 point because Brunson's still hitting the 3. But the overall point is he did run into Hartenstein, and it should have negated the 3-pointer. And you wouldn't have had a free throw either, unless the Heat were in the bonus, but in the penalty, but at 6 minutes left, I don't think they were. So we got screwed there. And that sprung the momentum toward New York. The Heat were screwed after that. And then the next one, which was even more egregious. 101-98, 3 minutes left, 3 and change left. Caleb Martin throws up a desperation 3-pointer. Hits the rim. Clearly hits the rim. I'm not even saying it was questionable. It hits the rim. Ball falls right into Gabe Vincent's lap. He lays it in, but they blew the whistle because it's a shot clock violation. I get up off the couch. I'm screaming at the television. It hit the rim. It hit the rim. It was so obvious. It was like, oh man, let's get the replay and slow it down. It was so obvious that it hit the rim. And then you go to the replay, and how do you miss that? So we totally got screwed out of 2 points there. Overall, the Heat should have had +2. The Knicks should have had -4. So yes, the officiating sucked last night against the Heat. But this idea that when you see Scott Foster, oh, the Heat are screwed. It just as well could have been the Knicks were screwed. And in general, he doesn't have it out for the Heat. What he is, and just the entire crew, and just NBA officiating in general, what it is NBA officiating is shit. That's what it is. No specific official or Scott Foster has it out for the Heat. The bottom line is NBA officiating is shit. And the Heat got screwed over it last night. Now again, not why they lost. Not why they lost. So that's what I got for you on Scott Foster. I don't want to talk about Scott Foster anymore. I'm never going to care who the officials are. Unless, like Tony Brothers, I care when he's officiating a game because he sucks balls, but he may just as well suck balls for the other team. He doesn't have it out against the Heat. If you have a bad official doing the game, there's just as good a chance he's going to be lousy for them as he is for you. I don't care who the officials are. Doesn't mean the officials don't suck, they do. But Scott Foster officiating a Miami Heat game does not mean the Heat are going to lose. It's so dumb. I don't want to hear about it anymore. It's so dumb. Now, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but like I was frustrated a little bit late in the game. Granted, the Panther game having ended like 20 minutes before the Heat game, and the Panthers playing so great and going up 1-0, that 1,000% took a lot of the sting away of losing last night. Like, I don't know which one it is. Was the sting of losing last night lessened because the Panthers won game 1? Or was it because the Heat won game 1? It's probably even. You can't always be a greedy pig. That's why we talked about it yesterday with playing Jimmy Butler, not playing Jimmy Butler. You're going to be okay coming back 1-1. It's really unrealistic to win both games on the road, go up 2-0. I know the Heat are not a normal 8 seed, but it's unrealistic, so maybe that will play into a factor of whether or not they sit Jimmy Butler, because you don't want to be a greedy pig. And I would say, hey, middle of the fourth quarter, the Heat are up 93-87. You're thinking to yourself, so glad we sat Jimmy. I mean, this could just be a home run. We win a grand slam. We win this game with Jimmy sitting. But whether it's because the Panthers had just won or because the Heat already won game 1, I wasn't mad after the game last night. I'm not mad now. I feel great about the Heat going forward. I feel great. Not good. I feel great about them. They are better than the Knicks. They are absolutely better than the Knicks. The Heat are better than them. Look at who the Heat had on the floor in the middle of that fourth quarter last night. By the way, an entire game where the Heat really led. Look at who the Heat had on the floor in the fourth quarter last night. Controlling the game. Lowry, Vincent, Martin, Robinson, Zeller. Knicks got Jalen Brunson out there. Knicks got Julius Randle out there. Knicks got RJ Barrett out there. Knicks got all their big guys. We were playing the fourth quarter with a 6-point lead at Madison Square Garden, which was rocking against a desperate New York team with Lowry, Vincent, Robinson, Martin, and Zeller out there about to take a 2-0 lead before the officials got involved. I feel great about the Heat moving forward. We're getting both in Miami. So yeah, I did not get angry after the game last night. And that's weird because 16, 17, 8-year-old Jonathan ZASLOW, Heat Knicks back in the late 90s, the idea that I would not be livid after a Heat playoff loss to the Knicks, my teenage self would have been disgusted. Would have been disgusted with himself. I'm not disgusted with myself. It's because I feel great about the Heat moving forward. And you know what played a part of it too? This part's important. The Heat were down, well, it was like 110, 105. They're shooting the free throw at the very end of the game. And Jimmy, right? Jimmy's standing there, and he's got that smirk, and he's shaking his head, yes. He's like, all right, see you Saturday. Like, that right there was, oh, you guys are so screwed. Jimmy's going to be back Saturday, and it's so on. The Heat got what they needed. They did. And they could have I don't know if I want to say should have. We didn't have Jimmy last night. I think that's being a little disingenuous if we're saying they should have won last night. But they totally could have won that game last night. And now we're 1-1 coming down to Miami. Where, of course, the Heat are, what are we talking about? 2-0 so far this postseason. Not even mad. I don't know, maybe I've matured. Maybe I'm like a grown-up now. Speaking of grown-up, as a grown-up, you got to make grown-up decisions. And part of being a grown-up is knowing you need to have homeowners insurance. You need to make sure you don't get caught off guard if there's some kind of damage, if there's a disaster, if there's a catastrophe. You got to make sure that you're taken care of. And that's why I send you to Brunt Insurance. BruntInsurance.com, 954-589-2204. You have a home? You just purchased a home for the first time? You better call Brunt Insurance at 954-589-2204. Doesn't matter what part of Florida. I got ZASLOW Show 2.0 listeners listening in all of Florida, all right? North Florida, Central Florida, South Florida, West Florida. I can't name all the Floridas. We'll be here forever. But from Pensacola to the Keys and beyond, Brunt Insurance delivers that comprehensive insurance that's tailored exactly to your needs. I've been with Brunt Insurance for about 10 years now, and that's because I know that God forbid something happens to my home, I have the right insurance. I'm going to be covered. 954-589-2204. If you need to get the man, Greg Brunt himself, on the phone, he'll answer your questions for you. The market's super confusing. Don't do it by yourself. 954-589-2204. Brunt Insurance. The only place that I would recommend to send you for car insurance, boaters insurance, motorcycle, homeowners, renters, condo, whatever it is. You could also check it out, bruntinsurance.com. And on that note as well, look, when you have some damage, you're going to go through the insurance company, of course, and then you're going to have to get a restoration company. So what am I talking about? You got a water leak in your home, you can't find where it's coming from, call or text Water Cleanup of Florida, 954-900-8635. My boys, the Greensteins, family, friends, grew up with them. They have over 60 years of combined experience. Their team is going to handle any type of leak detection, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And here's my favorite part. After the leak has been located and repaired, Water Cleanup of Florida, they're going to clean, dry, and fully restore any of the damaged areas. Water Cleanup of Florida is fully licensed, insured, and certified to provide the one-stop shopping that all of us homeowners require. No need to bring in other contractors. They handle the project from start to finish, serving the entire Tri-County area, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties. Call or text Water Cleanup of Florida 24/7, 365, 954-900-8635. You could also go to WCUFL.com. Water Cleanup of Florida. We clean up your schmutz. So, let's talk a little bit about Bam here. Bam's the whipping boy. Like, every version of the Heat has a whipping boy. In the late 90s, well, I'll go through all the generations with you. Early 90s, Ronnie Cycli was the guy. Fans always got on Cycli. Late 90s, Jamal Mashburn was the guy. It's always Mash's fault. Early 2000s, Eddie Jones. It was always Eddie Jones's fault. You go into the championship years, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, Mario Chalmers. And Mario Chalmers / Chris Bosh. They were the whipping boys. And then you get to the mid-2010s, Hassan Whiteside. Fans were always on Whiteside no matter what happened. When the Heat lose now, and when they lose big games, it's Bam Adebayo. He's the whipping boy now. Every generation of Miami Heat basketball has the guy that the fans point at and say, you weren't good enough. I'm not even mad at Bam. The only play from last night, like I said, that I'm mad at Bam about is running through the Hartenstein screen. That lost the Heat 1 point. When in reality, it should have actually saved the Heat 3 points, but the officials got, 4 points, but the officials got it wrong. So overall, it lost the Heat 1 point in that spot. I'm not even mad at Bam. And the thing is, because I don't have the energy to be mad at him anymore. Bam is what he is. And the thing that he is really good. But because we've seen flashes of him looking like a star offensive player, we think that that's supposed to be him all the time. Bam is what he is. He's a good player, great defensively. Don't discount the other side of the floor, man. He's a good player overall who sometimes will give you a great offensive performance. Look, there are plenty of good players who only give you good offensive performances. He's a good offensive player who sometimes will give you a great offensive performance. The problem is and I'll include myself here too, the problem is we want him to be something that he's not all the time, instead of him being something he's not some of the time, which he is. Now, the part that bothers me a little bit about Bam last night is after the game. So after the game, he got to the podium and he took full blame for the loss. Now, is that just something he's saying? Is that hey, I'm a leader on this team. UD is leaving after this summer. So I got to be the guy who steps in front and takes all the blame and takes the ownership? Maybe. But if we're going to get up there and take the blame, I didn't do enough. I need to shoot more. I need to be aggressive. Look, we've heard that press conference. I've seen that movie a million times. If Bam really believes that, then do it. Do it. So that's the problem that I have. I'm not expecting him to do that. I think Bam is really good at the things that he's really good at, and I'm good with it. But if Bam really believes that he needs to do more and that he wasn't good enough, stop saying it and do it. So that's my problem there with Bam. But in general, he is what he is. And that's okay. See, team's not going anywhere without Jimmy. Would I have liked Bam with more intense shots last night? Yeah, but you know what? We were up by 6 in the middle of the fourth quarter. I don't think anyone was complaining. Like, the Heat are getting a ton of open shots. And for the most part, these two games, they're knocking them down. That's what it's going to be about. The Heat did not make enough shots late. The Knicks made the big shots. Brunson and Hart. The Heat did not. I want to give you a spo here. So you're wondering, and I think I knew you couldn't challenge there, but here after the game, Spo was asked about the the shot clock. The shot clock violation, which of course was not a shot clock violation, and whether or not you were allowed to challenge that.
It's not. No, it's not. I'm not a physics guy. I wasn't great with that shit in high school, but I saw the ball just change course and direction from my vantage point. But I get it. This game is not an easy game to officiate. It just looked like it took a different course. That would have made it a 1-point game. Yeah, that's an important play. But the officials didn't have anything to do with this. We had enough plays to make on our own. Certainly, some of these scrums, get a couple of these calls that go the other way, that can make a difference. But also putting your imprint on the game, taking matters in your own hands, that can also, change the course of the result.
You almost wish they officiate it where, it's like in football where there's a fumble, but they don't blow the whistle right away because let's let it play out and then we could review it. Because if the other team recovers it, we want them to be able to have possession, even if we thought it was a fumble. Okay, you almost wish it was like that where give it a second to breathe, then blow the whistle if you think it was a shot clock violation, and go review it. But they don't even let you review that. So, we got screwed there, but in general, I'm totally with what Coach said there. We got screwed on that play and on the 4-point play. Not why we lost. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. But overall, my overall feeling, not mad. Super confident, very excited about this Saturday afternoon. Very excited for this Saturday afternoon. Now, before we get to Evan Cohen, we got to talk about the Panthers here. What a performance last night. That's what I'm talking about. God damn, that was exciting. So, a couple things first about the Panthers. Panthers win last night, 4-2 in Toronto. Kind of crazy that either Toronto or Florida are going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's crazy that Florida would because it's Florida, and it's crazy that Toronto would because Toronto hadn't been past the first round since 2004. So that's kind of nutty right there. Don't forget, by the way, Panther fans should feel great, and I feel good too. Leafs got crushed in Game 1 at home against Tampa. Then they won 4 of the next 5 to win the series in 6. So I'm just throwing that out there. But the Panthers, with their win last night, this one's incredible. The first time the Panthers have led a series 1-0. So the first time that they have won Game 1 since 1997. 26 years since the Panthers won Game 1 of the first round against the New York Rangers. They would go on to lose the next 4 to Wayne Gretzky's Rangers. The Panthers had not won a Game 1 since 1997. Think about it. Lost game 1 in the first round in Boston. Lost game 1, second round in Tampa last year. Lost game 1, first round at home to Washington. Go back the year before that. Lost game 1 at home to Tampa. Go back to 2016. Lost game 1 at home to the Islanders. Go back to 2012. Lost game 1 at home to the Devils. Then 2000, I'm doing this all off the top of my head. Then 2000, lost game 1 at home to the Devils. Then we get to 97. Won game 1 at home against the Rangers. 26 years since the Panthers led a series 1-0. That's an easy way to not win series. You always lose game 1. Now, this one is also incredible. Last night's game 1 win for the Panthers, game 1 in the semifinal win, is the first time the Panthers have won a game in the second round in 27 years. The first time they have won a game in the second round since 1996 against Philadelphia. It's a little bit pathetic, but we right now are in the golden age of Panther hockey. It's taken this long, 29 years, it's taken for the Panthers to be a consistently good professional hockey team. And that's why you have all these records. First game 1 win in 26 years. First semifinal win in 27 years. First series win last year in 26 years. You're getting all first time the franchise ever made the playoffs 3 years in a row. You're getting all these firsts now because they're finally a competent hockey team. It's so cool. So cool. So the Panthers last night, they go up to, excuse me, they go up 2-0. Terrible cough. Panthers go up 2-0. You're feeling great, right? You got goals. You got a tip from Sam Bennett. You got a goal from Nick Cousins, who's been fantastic on that Tkachuk line. Tkachuk, Bennett, and who's on the other side? It's Tkachuk, Bennett, and Cousins. Yeah, Cousins, Tkachuk, Bennett. That line has been their best line this postseason. Good for Nick Cousins getting to be on that line, and he's rewarding the team. So they're up 2-0, 2-1. Crazy goal there by what's his name, Max Nees. 2-2 very shortly after that. But I'm going to tell you something. I was very confident all game long. I was. Very confident the entire game. This team right now, they got a feel to them. And it's something that you haven't felt. I don't know. I'm not trying to say it feels like they're going to make a run to the Stanley Cup final like in 1996, but I'm saying you have not had confidence in your hockey team in decades in the postseason. And this team right now, they feel like they got something going. I was very confident all game. I never relented. I felt we were going to win the whole time. And Bobrovsky was excellent, especially in the third period. There was that one sequence where he didn't have a stick, and he still made the glove save. Bobrovsky was excellent. So it's 2-2 late in the second. You'd love to go into the third with the lead, but you just blew a 2-goal lead, and the Panthers took it right back.
Really nice check by Mahura to deny Toronto a scoring chance. Here's a break for Hagee, and he shoots and scores!
Keep an eye on Duclair, the little shovel pass, and Verhaeghe finds a gap and buries this one.
So Verhaeghe all of a sudden has gotten hot. He's got the overtime winner in Game 7 in Boston. He gets the breakaway goal there, which proves to be the game winner in Game 1 in Toronto. So Verhaeghe's gotten hot. And then into the third period, I forget how much time there was, about midway through the third period, Brandon Montour, the hottest defenseman in the National Hockey League.
Don't blow the whistle. Play allowed to continue on. Tkachuk's got it. Had a shooting lane. Montour rockets one and he scores!
Here, you're going to see this puck get worked back around. The little stutter step goes towards the net before he dishes it back up top.
And then when the Leafs pulled the goalie with about 3 minutes left in the game, Panthers never allowed, it got close a couple times, but they never gave up that goal. They win 4-2. The Panthers played great. I think it was a pretty even effort. Look, Ilya Samsonov, he was awesome for that. Like, the Panthers easily could have had 6 or 7 goals, especially early on, all those saves he made. They got great goaltending from Samsonov. I'm scared to death of John Tavares. Like, we're going to hear from Tavares throughout this series. I'm scared to death of Tavares. Obviously, Austin Matthews, Nylander, but the Panthers played great. And I was very confident the whole game. So exciting, man. Keep picking against the Panthers. I know Randy Moeller was going off about it in the postgame, right? Keep picking against the Panthers. Keep doing it. Keep picking against the Panthers. So, Game 2 is tomorrow night for the Panthers. And then Games 3 and 4, the schedule's a little bit quirky. They're taking an extra day off. So Game 3 for the Panthers is Friday. Actually, they're not taking an extra day off yet. Hold on. Game 2. Wait. Am I looking at this probably? Okay, here we go. All right. They are taking an extra day off, yes. Game 2 is tomorrow. And then Game 3, they're taking an extra day. Game 3 is Sunday, 6:30. Now, the Heat play Game 3 Saturday, 3:30. So, tomorrow night, we got Panthers Game 2. Then Friday, we got nothing. Saturday, we have Heat in the afternoon, Game 3. Sunday, we have Panthers early evening, Game 3. Monday, we have Heat Game 4. And then Wednesday, you have Panthers Game 4, Heat Game 5 back out on the road. So the teams do not play on the same day again until a week from tonight, Panthers Game 4 at home, Heat Game 5 on the road. And then I don't think they're playing again at the same time after that. I don't believe so. So this is a major weekend coming up. Saturday, Heat at home. Sunday, Panthers at home. Monday, Heat at home. Wednesday, Panthers at home. Center of the sports universe. Best sports town, Boston, we own you. That's what I'm talking about. Tell you what else, I'll tell you what else I own and what soon every American is going to own. And that's sheets from Sheets and Giggles. That's right. Right now, over 100,000 Americans are using Sheets and Giggles. My man Colin, he's the founder and CEO, big South Florida sports fan. Go to Sheets and Giggles, sheetsgiggles.com/Zaslow. Use promo code HEAT. You're going to get that promo. You're going to get that discount code. We're talking naturally softer, cooler, more breathable sheets. Super environmentally friendly as well. Sustainably made with a lyocell process from the wood of eucalyptus trees that are grown on sustainably managed biodiverse farms. Colin cares about the earth. He also cares about you getting good sleep. I got a eucalyptus pillow over there. That comforter is my favorite comforter of all time. The sheets are so cool. I'm so happy with Sheets and Giggles. I love that Sheets and Giggles on board with the show. Everybody knows they sent me to the Heat Game 3 against Milwaukee in the first round. They may send me to another game coming up. I don't know. I can't predict the future. But anyway, sheetsgiggles.com. You'll never go shopping anywhere else for your sheets. sheetsgiggles.com.